Okay, now for those out there that are not familiar, there's kind of a movement happening among at least some men now, and it's men going their own way, which is abbreviated MGTOW or MGTOW. And the reason that I'm bringing this up is because, as some people know, I was driving a school bus for a few years trying to get back into a better job. You have to do something to survive. You just do it. And I was hearing some of these teenage kids, these high school kids, saying how they're MGTOW and they're just done with women and whatnot. It's like, kid, you're 16. You haven't even, how are you giving up? You haven't even gone out there yet. What madness is this? Because even if you have the perfect relationship, I don't know of many people, the perfect high school relationship, it usually doesn't translate into the outside world. I'm not saying it never does, but it usually doesn't. I mean, I'm a little bit concerned about this because you just hear about these guys, talking like this. So let's start off with the recognition that the MGTOW movement is not one thing. All right, there are guys out there who it's just basically like self-improvement. All right, I'm not going to spend my life. The incels is not necessarily I understand the incels. I understand where they're coming from, and maybe we'll get to those. Whoever it is left, so to hell with them. Okay, so we need to recognize that MGTOW is not just one thing. Some people, what they'll do is they'll use it as, I'm not just going to focus my life on girls. I need to fix my stuff, make sure I'm okay, I'm good, and all that. Okay, self-improvement. I have no problem with that. That's called being an adult, not seeking out the approval and that of other people. Totally approve of that. But there's kind of a darker side to it. And the problem with it is you have these people who are like, well, I'm just giving up. That's it. Girls are bad. So I'm just going to sit up here in my tree house and I hate women. And you can actually see this all over YouTube. Just look at anything about women and they'll say, well, women are bad because of this and women are bad because of that. I mean, it's everything from polygyny, which is probably a thing. I mean, it's how our ancestors and ancestresses survived, to, the divorce courts and this and that and the other thing. Okay, cool. I understand all of that, but it's almost like in this retreat, and they talk about, oh yeah, well, I'm going to do things I want. So sometimes you hear about someone that's like, okay, well, what is the thing you want to do that's, that having girls around is preventing you from doing? This is a question which always, when somebody's like, well, things, if this would happen, if there was some magical thing that happened, I could do this. It's like, well, what is it you want to do so badly? And it's like, instead of doing something like, okay, well, I'm putting in more time at work or anything else, it's like, well, I'm playing more video games. Really? That's your solution? You're going to play video games, going to play Magic the Gathering, you're going to do that kind of thing? Might not necessarily be the best solution for your life. Maybe it is. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong per se, but the problem is, okay, I'm going to be completely fair here and say that there have been events in the recent past which have kind of changed things and have made things kind of bad. I totally get the guys who have had really bad divorces, and I'm not saying that they are necessarily wrong to do so. You go through an experience like that, you might say, you know what, I'm never getting married. I'm not going to deal with relationships. I'm not going to deal with this nonsense anymore at all, ever. Okay, Fine. I understand where you're coming from. But it's like there's almost this, I don't even know. It's like, I wouldn't say hatred, but it's like this disdain for sure. And it's like everywhere you go, it's the same thing. Oh, they're bad. MGTOW, stay away from them. It's like, well, I hate to tell you this, but let me tell you where the path ends. Okay? You end up in your middle age, no one around. You end up with nothing. You end up in your old age with nothing in your life. You find out that playing D&D and playing Magic and playing video games and all this stuff, it didn't give you anything. You have nothing. When you die, you have nothing. There's no one there except maybe a nurse that holds your hand as you pass. You have no one there that cares about you. You are alone. And nothing of value happened in your life. I'm not sure, because the thing is, again, I'm not saying that they're wrong from their perspective necessarily, but I'm thinking that many of them simply haven't thought this out to its logical conclusion. Okay, you have more money. Congratulations. Is that money going to buy you one more minute of time? Maybe if medical technology really takes off, but probably not. What is the quality of your life going to be? It might not be what you think it is. For myself, and I've by no means been that. I mean, I took a few years off from the dating scene because I realized that I was the problem, not so much everything else, but but it's like, I wasn't sure, maybe didn't want kids, didn't want this, didn't want that. And, working for a school district, you actually end up around them. And especially the younger ones, you start to realize, there's something here that maybe I wasn't thinking about. Maybe I wasn't considering this. And, I'll give a specific example. There was this kid, and I can't use names because it's a real person and it's a real student. And I don't want anybody going after these, these kids, because eventually they may not like my video. But what happened is this little girl came up to me and she said, "Do you know that they're bullying me inside the school?" And it was weird because, a lot of the kids like, just go to school, do whatever. And, it was like something woke up, something roared. It's like, what the hell is going on in there? Because if you think about it, why is she telling a bus driver? What kind of hell is she going through or problems is she having that she's telling somebody that really doesn't have anything going on in the school? What are they not doing? So all of a sudden the instinct kicks on and I'm ready to burn the world down for this kid that I barely even know. So we go inside, take care of it and whatnot. Tell them, it's like, look, she came to me about this. What is going on in here? Are you people controlling your animals? I didn't say that, obviously, but inside, that's what I'm thinking. You get your animals under control here. And it's like, I'm ready to burn the world down for this kid. I don't even know. And it's like, maybe I was kind of wrong about that. I mean, I've always hoped for a good relationship, but things just never quite worked out that way. And there are many reasons for that. We could talk about that at some point. But I'm really, really concerned about the future for these guys, because they may end up finding out that maybe what they thought was a good idea wasn't such a good idea. And then what do you do? What do you do when you end up and you're middle-aged and all those years and everything, they're gone? I was just talking about this with a friend of mine the other day. We were talking for about 3.5 hours, but specifically about that. Sorry, bumped my camera. Sorry, camera, didn't mean to bump you. All of a sudden, it's like the years where all this stuff can happen goes away. She's going to be 40 before too long. And that's where the birth defects really, I mean, you can actually find the thing on Wikipedia. When women hit age 35, half of them have difficulty conceiving. When they hit 41, half of them are sterile, and the other half have difficulty conceiving. And the birth defects, not just Down syndrome, but all the birth defects go up. So it's like, if you want to have kids and you're a young man, you kind of want a girl that's you're going to have those kids before that point happens. That's going to be the easiest thing for you to do. So it's like you're kind of wasting your time and your years. And here's the thing that really gets me. You see some of these guys that are MGTOW, and they say things like, oh, well, I had 4 divorces and I had this and these girls treat me bad and this and that. It's like, well, dude, you're the common factor in this. What's wrong with you? You are the problem. What are you doing wrong? Why are you blaming them for your failure? Okay, here's an interesting factoid I read recently. I guess some psychologists or sociologists did a study. And what they found is the reason that men end up getting remarried quickly isn't because it's the best idea for them, but because they miss the creature comforts. They like having somebody around that, makes dinner, sex, and all those things. So they find somebody that does that, and it doesn't matter who the person is. So it's like they kind of have this honeymoon phase, and it's like, oh, I ended up marrying the same person, except they just got this person pregnant, and now this person, has child support and that. And it's like, dude, you are the frigging problem. You need to quit blaming people for your failure. And you out there need to stop spouting this bullshit, because there's no 16-year-old on the planet that needs to give up. They need encouragement. They need to have a good idea of what to do. They need to go out and they need to be dating people. They need to find out about themselves. They need to find out what they like, what they don't like. They need to learn things like how to stand up for themselves in a relationship, how to stand up for themselves in a relationship, how to act around people, how to be themselves how to be comfortable in their own skin around the opposite sex. These are important things. I mean, I don't think there's any guy out there that's ever been successful would say that they're not successful. But you know what? I'm going to say something, especially to you guys that are older. I salute you, and I hope you continue, because just like the gay guys, every one of you out there that does that is one less person that's competing with me. So please, go ahead and don't have anything to do with girls again, because I'll be out here with those girls. I'll be out here doing that while you sit in some sad funk. So the thing is this, really, I'm concerned about this movement. And like I said, if I didn't say it, the 16-year-olds want to do this, cool. Or the 40, the 50-something-year-olds want to do this, fine. That's your business. But don't put your bullshit onto teenage kids. They don't need that shit. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever that a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old should be in that state of mind. If anything, you should be looking at them and saying, look, I've made mistakes. These are the mistakes I've made. Please. Yeah. Made mistakes. I've done these things. This wasn't the best idea. That wasn't the best idea. Do these things. This is what I did wrong. Learn from my mistakes. Do them right. Not, oh, we'll just give up on everything because it's terrible and women are bad and that. Yes, guys, you guys do that, because I'm out here waiting. And believe it or not, yeah, better than you. All right, that's it.